What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you guys are new here, be sure to head over to the channel after this video. Check out some of the other content I got on this Sonoma right here behind me. If you guys like what you see, consider smashing that subscribe button. And just like that, let's get into today's video. Now, if you guys can't tell by the thumbnail, we're going to be putting some drop spindles on the truck today. We're also going to be throwing on some new shocks that I got for this bad boy. And man, I can't wait. I know a lot of you guys know that I just have been dying to get this wheel gap out of the way. We dropped it a little bit when we got the engine and trans in, as you guys can see last video, but as you can see, we still got a ways to go. So here you go, guys. As you can see, we're gonna be throwing on these Buildz drop spindles. Like I said, I believe I got the 2-inch. They might be 2.5, I'm not 100% sure there. Right here, we're also gonna be throwing on these Buildz Nitro Drop 2 shocks. This thing's gonna make the truck ride and look real nice. So, I'm gonna get this thing up on jack stands and get these front wheels off, and then we'll get to working. Real quick before we do this, since the truck's not out in the driveway and we can't really get a side profile of it, I got about almost 4 finger widths of gap between the tire and the bottom of the fender well. So once we get the drop shocks and drop spindles on, we'll go ahead and check this finger width again, and then we'll get it out of the garage and do a side profile. So the first thing we're gonna do is take an 18mm socket, and we're gonna remove the 2 bolts that hold this brake caliper onto the spindle. They're on there pretty tight. I put them on pretty tight when I put these on there. There we go. Alright, there's the top one. Now the bottom one, you guys aren't going to be able to see, but it's down there. Dang. I put these suckers on a little tighter than I thought. God dang, okay. Got the second bolt out. Now you're going to want a block or something right here to set your brake caliper on. That way you don't put a lot of stress on this brake line right there, and you don't have to unhook it. And that block is, there we go, it'll work like that. That'll work out pretty good. Now we're just gonna want to get this off. There we go. Pull that out the way. Now we're gonna have to remove this wheel hub from the drop spindle, or from the factory spindle here. I don't remember if this is the one that I couldn't get separated in the last video, or if it's the one on the driver's side, but we're about to find out. So what we got to do is, I'm going to remove the wheel speed sensor right here, and then I'm going to go and take these 3 bolts out around this wheel hub on the back side, and then hopefully we'll be able to just pull that right off, and then we can start focusing on getting the spindle itself out. So those bolts are back there are an 18 as well. So I'm just gonna go in on this side. I think it might be a little bit easier with that brake caliper over on that side. Plus we can go push down on it instead of having to pull up on it. There. Man, I really got these things tight. If I remember right, I put them back in with an air wrench, which I could hook all that up, but I just don't want to go through that mess right now. My garage is small, and sorry I keep smacking the ratchet on that. Alright, there's one. Alright, bolt number 2 out. Now spin this back the other way and get to bolt number 3, if we can. Alright, bolt number 3. Alright, bolt number 3. And just like I was afraid of, this is the one that's seized on. And so what I'm gonna have to do is put some bolts back in and do a little pry method. First I'm gonna take that speed sensor off. Alright, got that out. What we're gonna do here, I'm gonna spin this back this way. We'll take one of these bolts right here, thread it back in there. So now we're gonna take socket. I want to put a socket on here. Maybe this on there will work. So okay, I think that'll work. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn the wheel. I'm gonna turn it down here so it pushes against there. I'm gonna go inside and turn the wheel more, and the idea is this is supposed to be like a press, and hopefully it'll press these apart. All right, let's go see what happened. Well, I don't think anything was really happening so much. I'll have to try it again. Trying to turn it pretty hard. Oh, I think I might I heard something, so let's go check. Might have broke the socket. It wouldn't surprise me any. All right, something didn't work out. Well, we didn't break anything. Huh. Doesn't look like anything's broken. That sucker still ain't coming off of there. I don't know what to do. I'm gonna try to take that bolt back out. Well guys, that's the only thing I know how to do to get that apart. I'm gonna figure out how to get that off a better way, and then I'll get back with you guys. I went ahead and came over to the driver's side of the truck because I know that this wheel hub comes off really easily, just like that. It's not all seized up like the other one is. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do about that. I haven't figured out how to get it off there yet. I put a whole bunch of heat to it. I tried the press method that this one guy on YouTube showed, and it didn't work. So I'm not exactly sure yet, but I just jumped over to this side so I can get this video most of the way knocked out, and I can get this work most of the way knocked out as well. So now that that's out of the way, you got to take the bolt off of the top control arm, the bolt off the lower control arm, and the bolt off of this tie rod. And I believe the one on the tie rod is going to be probably a 19. The 18's not fitting. Upper control arm I believe is the same, and I believe the lower control arm as well. We'll go check that out real quick. Alright, so like I thought, it's going to be 19 on the tie rod here, 19 on the upper control arm, and it's going to be a 21, yeah, 21 on the lower control arm. So the first thing I'm going to do is take this tie rod off. Whoa, don't fall over while you're breaking it loose like I just did. Mine come off pretty easy because I've taken these off and on quite a bit here lately. There we go. All right, now that we got that tie rod out, spin this sideways so we can see what we're doing on these other bolts. First, I'm gonna take the lower one off. Shoot, it's gonna wanna turn. Okay. Now, I don't know if that's gonna fall out of there or not. Sometimes it should. All right, there it goes. It is out. Now we just need to undo the upper one. Now we just gotta get this spindle off of here. Ah, there we go. Stock spindle out. Ooh, check it out, y'all. Got some Beltec stickers. Might put those on the truck, I don't know. Let's stick that. I'm gonna have to turn this fan so it doesn't blow our popcorn. Not really popcorn, but all right. Here's one of them. There's the second one. Let's see if we can figure out what determines the two. Which side does this bad boy go on? Left hand. What does this thing say? Left hand. All right, sweet. We're good there. Let's compare these two next to each other. Well, I think I can see why it's a drop spindle. I've never put drop spindles on before, guys, just to be honest with you, but I'm pretty sure that these guys here are gonna go in here, because as you can see, what this does is this offers a space for like that, and that's gonna be this nut right here. So when when the wheel hub goes on here, instead of a bolt going all the way through to the wheel hub's gonna sit over this, and then this nut is gonna hold that one on, which I'll show you guys here in a second for if you don't completely understand. Bring this back over here. I believe this goes like this. Oh yeah, I don't think we can use the dust shield with these drop spindles. It's not gonna work. It won't clear it. It won't clear it down at the bottom. Oh, I mean, that's probably okay. I don't know that we really need that anyway, but the important thing is to make sure that this speed sensor is still at the top. Alright, see what I was talking about, guys? It goes in there, and unfortunately that dust shield takes up the gap there, but it should be okay, because I really don't think we're going to be able to run it. Oh, man, it's hard to get that back off there with that stud. I don't think we're going to be able to run it, because we can't force it down flat past that, and I'm afraid to bend it, because then it might rub against the rotor right there, and I really don't want to do that. So we're going to just run without it, and I'm confident that it'll be just fine as long as we tighten everything down nice and good. Fourteen millimeter is what Beltec sends you. As you can tell, it's a locking nut, so I got my lovely ratchet end wrenches that are so freaking nice for things like this. Thank you so much, Cody. My buddy Autoborn Life, go check him out on Instagram. He's a hell of an electrician. Whew, yeah. Let's get this drop spindle back on. Well, on. We had our stock spindle on before. Okay, before we do this, I need to grab one of my shocks. I'm not sure if the shock can slide up underneath, or if we have to take this spring out. I think that these will slide right up in there, and I'm pretty sure that these go on the back side, not on the inside. Alright guys, I'm gonna get this shock in and I'll get back with y'all. Well guys, as you can see, I got this side all back together, drop spindles in. I got the shock about halfway in, top side's on. I can't get the bottom side to line up properly. Well, I can, but the problem is that you probably can't even see that. There we go. The problem is these bolts right here are not the factory bolts for the shocks. I had to order them online, and they are not short enough for these aftermarket, or they're not long enough, excuse me. Yeah, they're not long enough for the aftermarket shocks, so I'm gonna have to put the wheels back on the truck, get it dropped down so I can put it back in the garage for the night. And tomorrow I'll go to the hardware store and grab some longer bolts, and we'll get these shocks put in. Hopefully I can figure out how to get the wheel hub off the other side of the truck, which is over here. Hopefully I can figure out how to get that wheel hub off in the morning. I know it's kind of dark over here, I'm sorry about that, but yeah, hopefully I can figure out how to get this wheel hub off tomorrow so we can put that drop spindle on. Probably just gonna soak it down a lot overnight with some WD-40 or some PV plaster and do a little more research, see if I can't figure out a way to get it off there. If not, then I might just have to break down and buy another one. I don't want to do that because they're like 130 bucks, 125 anyway. Really don't want to do that, but I just might have to. Anyway, I'm gonna put this thing in the garage for the night and we'll pick back up first thing tomorrow. All right guys, little update here. I just put this thing back on after trying I put my old brake rotor on backwards and tried that whole method with the pipe wrench on it, like you can see on YouTube, a couple videos on there. So I tried that, it didn't work, so I just put this back on and kept going to town on it with that 4-pound sledge. Just kept beating on it with this 4-pound sledgehammer. So as you guys can see, I'm starting to get some gap in there. It's getting a little loose. So I'm just beating the crap out of it with my sledgehammer, like I just said. But what the problem now is that when I do get it loose, I'm gonna have to replace that stud because it's bent way out of whack now. But that's all right because, like I said, these things are stupid expensive, at least for me, and it's starting to work. We're getting a little bit of gap there. The dust shield's got some play in it. So I think I'm just gonna keep smacking it and hopefully it comes off. Check it out, you guys. I finally got it off of there. Now we can put the new drop spindle on, get the new shock in, put this bad boy back down on the ground. We'll get them back shocks in, shove it out the garage, and finally be able to see what it looks like. Man, I'm so excited, and I really hope you guys are just as excited as I am, because it's been a long time coming, and well, you can't really tell because it's up off the ground right now, but it already sits pretty low over on this driver's side. It's gonna look so sick. So I'm gonna get that side slide back together real quick and we'll get this bad boy out of the garage and check it out. First things first, get this off of here. Oh yeah, didn't think it would be too hard. Get all this rust cleaned off of here so it'll go back into the new drop spindle nice and easy. I just need to bolt it all back in and we'll be ready to rock and roll. All right, now we got that done. So now we just got to remove this stock spindle here and then we can put that drop spindle on. But you guys have already seen me do all this. So I'm just gonna skip straight to zipping up the bolts on the drop spindle and then we can get this truck out of the garage. There we go. That wasn't too bad. Now I just need to get one to replace it. Nice. Probably not going to be too dangerous to put the wheel back on with just 4 studs. So I'm probably just going to continue putting it back together. Like, you know, it just sits in the garage or in the driveway for now, so it's not going to be dangerous. I'll get that put back in there when I got to ride to the hardware store. But right now my fiance is at work and I have no ride to the hardware store. So once I do, I'll get a new stud and we'll get that thrown in there. Probably off camera because it won't be that big a deal, but I don't know, maybe I'll do it on camera. Either way, let's get this bad boy all the way back together. Oh yeah. I don't know if I probably said it before, but if you guys ain't got a set of these ratchet wrenches right here, you should probably get you a set because they are the baddest thing in my garage. And man, they work awesome, especially when you're in a pinch. See, like right there, ratchet wouldn't fit in there, but the wrench does, so you don't have to keep on doing the whole one move at a time. Get you a set of these. Alright y'all, so remember how I told you guys it was just going to be a simple button everything back up with this new drop spindle and all that? Well, I went to put the shock in and it wouldn't go in the top hole, it wouldn't line up properly, it was just getting caught up on something. So let me crawl up underneath the truck here real quick. Now, this is up inside the shock mount hole. And I don't know if you guys can see, but right there, I'm having to do, let me get the light up in it a little bit better. You can see right up in there, I'm having to do, right up in there, I'm having to do a little bit of refab work right there. It was bent almost flat in the shock, or the, it was bent almost flat and the spring wouldn't go and sit flush right there, and it wouldn't allow the shock to shift over to go up inside that shock hole up in there that you can see. So I got up in here, took everything back apart, and I had to get my torch up in there and heat that plate up, and now I'm getting it bent back in place, and hopefully we can get things back together and finally get this truck out the garage. So I'll be back with you guys here in just a sec. Alright guys, so it's getting a little bit dark in the shop and underneath the truck, but if you can see them, we got the new shocks in. The lowering kit was already in the rear end, so were the airbags. So now we're going to get this truck off of this jack and wheel it out into the driveway so we can check out the ride height on it now. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, look at that, yo! Don't mind that lean, the driveway ain't quite flat, but dang, it's back together. Oh yeah, check it out. Alright, so right now, got the rear aired up. Check that out, y'all. Look at this. Remember how we had 4 fingers? Look at this. Now I can't even fit 2 between there now. We've dropped this front way low. Dang, that looks sick, you guys. Let's go over to the other side and check it out. Get the full view, step back a little bit. Dang. That's looking really good, you guys. I'm gonna sit you guys down on the tripod here and I'm gonna air out the rear end so y'all can see it. There we go, guys. That's with the rear aired out. The front sitting down low with no bags on it. Man, I mean, I don't know. I want to bag the front end, but then I have to relocate a bunch of stuff and delete the wheel wells. But dang, guys, that looks sick. I can't wait till we fire that bad boy up and drive it down the road. But first I got to get an AC condenser so that way I can put my radiator in. Dang. I think the next thing we're gonna do is pull that bed off, recoat the frame, because I know you guys seen all that surface rust on that frame. So we're gonna pull the bed off, recoat the frame, and then I gotta repaint this side of the bed because we got some scratches. Something fell into it, and it's pretty deep. Like, I can catch it pretty good with my fingernail. So we're gonna have to repaint this side of the bed, and the whole truck's gonna get reclear coated too. But also want to get my window tint in. This window's rolled down right now, but I got a full window tint kit coming. Oh, it's already in the garage. Just got to put it in. Yeah, guys, it's coming along nicely. Coming along nicely. Dang, guys, check that out. I even shed some blood for y'all on this one. So if you guys enjoyed today's content, smash that like button. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. Let me know what y'all want to see me do next. And don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Just like that. Catch y'all in the next one.